Welcome back to the Scions of the Summit dev playthrough. We're going to be starting off with Chapter 7, the arguably most notorious chapter of this demo in terms of difficulty. Because of that, even though, again, I'm familiar with this chapter and I've played through it a ton of times, I'm probably going to divide up, I guess, the first section where I'm just kind of managing things in like the support menu and everything. At least in terms of recording, when I divide it up between that and the map itself, mostly because I tend to struggle a bit on the first turn trying to get a couple things set up properly, so hopefully I don't have to record this too many times, but we'll see. So let's get started with the story. So let's actually see if we have any supports going forward. We might not. Actually, yes, we do. Let's start with this. I guess it's only just that one, a little bit of a teaser on some of the units that will be showing up momentarily. But yeah, I'm just going to take a little bit of time to mess around with the distance, and a bit of a spoiler that I got a new character here. Let's see, actually. I might just leave this as is for now. I do want to purchase a couple things for Rodion, just a few things here and there. Let's see. 2 throwing hexes, actually I don't need both of them here. We do want to make sure that everybody's prepped with all this stuff, so we can just give characters a bunch of. So, a nature catalyst is actually for mages. So we can actually probably give that. I think it probably depends on who we decide to bring, because I don't think. Well, we'll see, actually, because I'm not sure if we'll have enough space for certain people. I'll just go to Guilmar for right now. If not, I'll give it to Estrada, just so that we have a little something for everybody. Because I don't need all these items. Yeah, some of these characters might not be of too much use for this map. We'll find out soon enough why. I'm gonna give away this jewelry. Should probably purchase more from the market. We're actually going to be getting more money fairly soon next chapter, so I'm not actually too hard-pressed to purchase a lot for now, but it would be good to have a lot of things on hand. Just because this chapter is going to be a little bit tricky. So yeah, even though we haven't technically quote-unquote met Theo, he's here. We'll probably meet him in the chapter in a bit. We don't need any chest keys actually for this. Yeah, I might end up in a situation where I don't have two of my characters available. I might actually have to hold off on Joanna again for this chapter, and there's a reason why I tend to not use her as much for these, just because I don't know how useful she's going to be for some of these enemies that we're going to be dealing with on this map. But again, I could give her a little bit more in terms of the bonus EXP if I wanted to. Choices, you know. Since I'm probably not going to be using Ali, I can probably just give these characters a little bit more love. So yeah, let's yeah, as we noticed here, we're actually losing more EXP the higher it goes, just because, again, for whatever reason, it's not true EXP. But we'll see. Oh, she's getting some strength, so this is actually very good. Let's check Guilmar, actually. I might want to give him a little bit of love, too. He might be a little bit more useful for some of the enemies on this map, and also the next one coming up, but we'll see which characters I end up using. I don't know if I have enough for another level up on anybody. Everybody's doing pretty good, actually. Zara's actually pretty high right now. I think everyone's at a decent level at the moment. I could go for Crispin, but yeah, that's the thing. Like, we're gonna kind of end up with a little bit more of a, I say, like, difficult choice here, because again, it really depends on who I decide to bring. I might end up again not bringing Crispin for this, because again, it's, I don't know if he's gonna be of much use. But again, same with Joanna. So again, we'll see. Yeah, I might just go for Guilmar, actually, just because, again, he's a mage, and range stuff is going to be a little helpful. Well, let's see. We'll go for this, and I'll just make a separate save in case I decide to go for something a little bit different. We have plenty of saves here. It's actually, one of the reasons why we decided to go for more saves in general is because since there's so many variations you can do, and again, we'll kind of get to one of them in this chapter, because it's, well, I'll talk about a certain character a little later. But there are several variations you can do and different decisions you can make, as well as the summit, how you're going to have different choices going forward. And so wanted to make sure that everyone had plenty of means of saving. So there's, I think, about 20 of these here, so it's a lot. I'm not going to be using all of them. The reason why I have a bunch of these chapters separated like this is just because it's a little bit more helpful for me to go back in case I need to retest things. But anyways, I'm gonna stop recording here and then pick it up again in a second, just so that whenever I'm doing the editing for this, it'll be with the attempt where I actually beat it. So we'll see you in a second. Alright, we're back, and so let's get started. Actually, this might have been a better place to save, but just in case, just so I don't have to be showing off all the chapter again with the dialogue. So, as you notice, this is a mostly blank map. There's not a lot of things happening on here, but as you can see, we have several bosses here, and I'll get to them in a second. Let's actually look at least one of our new units here. This is Theo. He's our troubadour unit, and he actually has a very interesting personal skill. And so what's going to happen is that again, he provokes basically all attacks. He's going to be taking a lot less damage, and as well as reflecting statuses. So This is actually a very good personal skill that I've utilized a lot, and it actually used to be a lot more broken when we were testing this. It used to be a one charge thing, and so he could just, and I want to say it was even higher percentage damage that he would negate. Essentially, I think it was probably close to like 80%, very similar to how the tenacity skill works. And I'm like, that's a little too busted. But either way, he's still very good, and he's got a couple of interesting staffs here. Skung, I think that's how it's pronounced. This is basically a rescue staff. And so he's going to be pretty helpful. We do have another character that's going to be coming up as well. But anyways, as you notice, this is a very big map, and there's a lot of things going on here. There's several bosses. They're all technically, well, I will say that most of the enemies on this map, even though basically it's an all-boss map, they're essentially optional bosses that you can fight off. I would personally fight them off just because they're going to cause a lot of problems. And I'll be pretty honest about this, that you have essentially the option to either fight off these three characters here. There's another one that's going to be coming up fairly soon in a few turns, but as long as you defeat these three bosses, it'll trigger the other boss to come in afterwards. So there's a total of 6 bosses on this map, so they're all very powerful. And again, in the event that you don't end up defeating these characters by a certain turn, I want to say it's by the end of turn 10, they'll end up all becoming green units, and there's another boss that you'll have to fight that comes down here. But again, we're gonna try to fight them all off. So as you can see here, they have very high tenacity stacks and such. This is another thing that I do want to talk a little bit about right here. So this particular skill is actually, and this was actually my, I guess, way of implementing story and narrative, and I want to talk about it here because you'll actually see it a little bit more with their boss conversations, but this is kind of my own personal spin on like story gameplay integration, where we have the A support skills that I mentioned early on, where if two characters get an A support with each other, and I think we can see it here. No, maybe it's not available. But basically these two would have like an A support with each other essentially, and I don't know if there's a way to implement it to where they can. Maybe there is. But this is basically to show off that particular skill, and just show that, hey, this can happen once these characters get to A support. And so this is kind of an annoying one to deal with, and so we're actually going to try to divide them up. But anyways, here's Corvus. Even though the map objective says to fight him, we probably really don't want to do that because he's very strong and he has tenacity 10 of all things. He's immune to stuff, and his personal weapon is just kind of insane. You can look at it here. It's effective against a bunch of things, and it's a brave bow also. So yeah, so we're not gonna deal with Corvus. But anyways, let's kind of start moving characters around here because yeah, we're gonna be dealing with some interesting stuff here. So I'm gonna put him here. So actually, well, no, maybe I can move him. No, okay, at least 2. I think should mostly be okay in terms of the placement. I might have to move Mina over here just because yeah, well, let's see actually. Yeah, hopefully I might have to make another save here actually, and just so that I don't have to explain this all over again. So we'll see you again in a second. Right, we're back again. So hopefully we can get through this fight relatively simply. I don't want to have to fight these bosses all over again, but again, this is a very challenging map. So here's Natalia, who, as we saw in the previous chapter, she's playable, and again, this only happens if she survives the previous chapter. She does have a personal skill, which I like to call like Grisha Light, essentially, because his skill takes away stats from enemies and such, and then basically can use them for himself. Natalia's is a little bit different in that she can actually match both allies or enemy stats as long as they're higher than hers, and it'll end up just boosting her stats there. So I just want to be a little bit careful about where we are here. I want to take a little bit of time for this turn to make sure that we have everything ready to go. So I'm actually going to put Mithrius here to deal with Wataru. No, I'll go with the names again. This is Wataru, this is Hassan, and this is Mireya. There's 2 more characters that will be showing up on the map momentarily within the next few turns. But as of right now, let's see. This is why I gotta make sure. We actually added this conversation with Natalia and Mithrius. I'm not going to be using it right now, or doing it right now. I'll probably test it on my own if I can't get to it later. And it's because of of how I personally go about this map. I need Natalia to actually go up here and bait Hassan to this section, just so that these 2 characters are not next to each other, so they can proc the support skill. So this is what I'm going to do here. Make sure that everybody is out of range. I do need Rodion to talk to Natalia and have him trade this item with her. So we're actually going to trade a couple things over to Natalia. I'm actually probably going to give her the Vulnerary too, just because she's going to be off on her own for a little bit, and hopefully Rodion doesn't get hit by anything in the meantime. So I'm actually going to start off by, let's go over here. So what I'm going to do is put her right here. Gives a lot of Forge Axe in her, and she's going to be baiting Hassan over here. Hopefully he won't be coming down afterwards. I do need to make sure that on turn 2, it's another crucial turn where he doesn't end up coming back this way. I really don't want that to happen because I want to be able to defeat Hotaru without having to deal with it. So we're going to start moving characters up a little bit. Just want to make sure that everybody is in a good position right now, just because it can cause a couple problems going forward. I'm going to talk with these 2 though. I do also want to mention that the initial plan was to actually have a lot more enemies on this map, just because it feels a little empty at first, but you are really going to need as much room as you can have, because a lot of these enemies are gonna mess with you quite a bit. So we're gonna move up everybody here. Hopefully, don't have too many issues. And so this is where things get pretty dangerous. Overall, I do want to make sure that Natalia is all the way over here. She's going to heal herself with the Talisman of Peace fairly soon. But yeah, basically I want to make sure that whoever's over here, I actually can't have Mina all the way up there because of the fact that she's going to end up baiting Hassan all the way down here, so I'm actually going to put Mithrius here at the top. Hopefully that doesn't cause any issues. So actually what I'm going to do is dash attack over here just to get the tenacities out while I can. So we're going to try to double her. Even though it doesn't do any damage, I want to just get rid of as many of these tenacity stacks as possible. So what I'm going to do here, actually... Remember she has does have a short bow. Actually don't really need to do speedwing. So it gets a little bit tricky. So you see, like, these enemies can do quite a bit of damage. I've got one of them down. Just gonna make sure that Hassan doesn't have a reason to come all the way down here. What I'm probably gonna do is just wait this out with these two here. Okay. Just gonna make sure that Hassan doesn't have a reason to come down. If he does, then it is unfortunately a reset, probably because I really don't want to be dealing with that. Let's see what happens. Okay, that's good. Now we have another boss on this map, Skilgamos, and he's got a pretty scary personal skill that I won't go too much into here, but basically he just gains a lot of buffs, and then if he activates his skill, it does a lot of damage, and then it just resets itself. We do have to defeat him for several reasons, and I'll talk a little bit more about him because he's a very interesting character for this map, and we will end up seeing him a little bit later down the line again. But yeah, so it's good that Hassan went this way because it gives me a little bit more of an opportunity to come up here with Mithrius to visit the village. Get ourselves a Sorora seal. So this is going to be what we use to promote units. I'm actually going to move Natalia down this way, just because I want her to grab the village down here. Just make sure that I have everybody that here. Might have to move her out to the mountains. Just to not deal with Gogamos for right now. I really need to get rid of Mireya, though. It's gonna be a little bit tricky to deal with. I might have to pull back a little bit. I don't remember how much damage she does. She has a form, that's why. She does have an elixir actually on her, so yeah, I just need to start moving people down. She's sending me up here to the armory. Could probably grab a couple things here. Some of this I don't really necessarily need right now, but just in case that you wanted to grab a lot of these items, they're here. Some of the relief stuff, honestly, I could probably use it. Yeah, I don't really have a huge need right now for some of these items. You know what, yeah, I guess I'll grab a relief stuff. Just because, again, I know that we're going to be getting quite a bit of money fairly soon. I don't think I have... Okay, so Theo actually has his skill up right now, and so what I can do here is going to make things a lot more simple for me. So I actually don't have to deal too much with this, and then we can use this opportunity to at least try to get a couple hits in. It's probably not going to work out too well, but you will see just how powerful this skill can be. I can put everybody in range and not worry about it too much. I hopefully shouldn't have too many issues dealing with certain enemies right now. Again, like this, because of how the personal skill works, she's just gonna go for Theo. But again, hopefully I don't have to deal with the other bosses too much yet. So yeah, these two are gonna be coming down this way. Yeah, I don't wanna... I'm actually probably gonna wait on this and then see what we can do here. Yeah, these two over here are gonna cause a couple problems for me. But hopefully Theo's skill will activate when I need it to. And try to do stuff with Ryosuke just to get those stacks down. No, she's not gonna stuff here. Okay, yeah, so I think we're pretty good for now. I'm not too worried. I think we're in a pretty good spot. Just because we got 2 of these bosses out of the way, and I think it's rolling. Okay, that's very good. Start moving these 2 down. I could maybe try to bait this on up here. I don't think it's possible. I think we're just gonna have to deal with both of them. We'll see. We'll see what happens actually if I put Mina up here. I don't think it's gonna make much of a difference, but again, we'll see. Yeah, it can be a little funny about how it does things. Okay, so these 2 are actually coming up here, so what I'm gonna do is use this opportunity to grab the village. And I do want to grab that other one up here before start getting. Let's see, where are we? Turn 5. We're actually doing very good time right now. So I'm actually going to start moving characters this way. I don't know if I'll be able to divide them up very well, but we'll see what happens. Again, I'm always it's a little bit tricky with these 2. I haven't really gotten down how their AR prioritizes stuff just yet. But yeah, actually we're pretty good with Theo actually right now. Again, not too worried at the moment. Okay, this is good. Well, kind of, not really. Almost can still cause some issues for us. Kassan actually has, yeah, he has this, so I can probably calm staff with Feline. And what's gonna happen is, let me see actually, because, let's actually start moving Natalia up this way. Just gonna find a good place to do this because, actually, you know what? I'm probably going to have Theo over here. Use his personal again because I think it's active. Yes, it is. And so this should actually make things way easier for me overall. Theo's very much a very helpful unit on this map. And I'm gonna call stuff. Not the sun, just so that he's not gonna be causing problems for us. I don't think Gilgamesh can move very much, but I do want to hold off on dealing with him right now. Because I don't want to fight 2 bosses at once. Okay, that's actually a little bit... that's actually a problem. Might have done this wrong. Actually, you know what? No. Oh, I know why. Put Zara in a weird spot, that's why. I was like, I knew that he was in range, or at least he was supposed to be in range. There we go. Okay, so that should not cause any issues. Okay, yeah, we're good. Alright, Gilgamesh is gonna cause me some problems right now. Yeah, this is where things get a little tricky. He doubles a lot of people. Yeah, this is where it's gonna get a little bit iffy. How many stacks do you have on you? You have all your stacks, that's the problem. Okay. Probably would have been a little bit better to have Theo use his skill on. So. Actually, don't remember if he wasn't needed here. Damn. This is where things get very tricky. Yeah, I'm gonna have to kind of mess around with this a little bit. Debating whether I want to like actually retreat or not because it might cause some issues. So I don't like having to deal with two bosses at once. Just because they're gonna do so much damage. Trying to figure out who's the more dangerous one of the two at the moment. It's probably gonna be Gilgamesh. Let's try to deal with him first, actually. That's not good. Okay. Let's see, what stacks do you have? Or two. That's where it gets tricky. Okay. Okay, this guy actually doesn't do too much. A little bit iffy on this is the problem. Don't like that. I mean, it gets doubled by him. What's he even using right now? Actually, it's a fine sword. Which I think still has a tenacity stack on him. That's why. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Try to anti-air raid. No. See, it doubles everybody, that's the problem. I don't remember how slow. The problem here is that this is very... trying to see how much damage he's gonna do to characters if I deal with him. This. How much damage is this Strata gonna do? It's too much, because I don't want him to... I don't want him to be the one that takes out Gilgamesh is the thing. I could do this. There's a reason why, and I'm not going to talk too much about, but you'll notice once we defeat him, you know, I'm probably going to use Dumina. I think she should be able to beat him. Please hit. There we go. So, as you noticed, Gilgamesh will in fact make a comment on whoever defeated him, and that's actually going to come into play later. Not right now, but it's definitely going to be important much later. Oops. Just do not want this to cause problems. Just a little worried that I'll end up nicking somebody, but hopefully not. Okay, I think we're good. I think we are mostly safe for now, but I do want to get this village. Yeah, otherwise, hopefully, crisis averted with this map. So it's a little tricky of a map, and we're still not done yet. So there's definitely more things to do. Okay, that's a problem. Okay. Two dash attack. Need to make sure that got all the stacks dealt with. Sure, it's fine. I'm gonna take him out on this turn anyway, so hopefully this is not gonna cause too many problems. Really hoping that this. Don't have enough stacks here. Okay. I think we're okay. Just as long as the Strata hits. I'm gonna have to spend some time healing. Okay, that's a very good level first try. I'll just take them out with Aline. Very good level ups all around. And like I said, we are not done yet. Still not out of the woods. So, really all we need to do now is defeat this boss right here, Elvira. There's quite a few stacks of tenacity. Normally what their AI will do is they'll go after these villages, but since they're all closed off, they're probably going to go after Corvus. So I do want to kind of have a little space here. Because I'd like to make sure that I have plenty of room for everybody. Just so that we can deal with the boss in one go, because I really don't want to have to spend a lot of time just messing around with these enemies. I'll come over here actually and talk with these two. Hopefully this talk works because it's new. Looks like we're good. This is, again, doubling as a testing ground right now. But anyway, yeah, let's get on the move over here. I just want to make sure that everybody's in position. I think I'm gonna have to use Mina right now after this. Yeah, Miss Elvira's gonna be coming down over here. These enemies are probably gonna go after Corvus. Just make sure. What I might do actually over here is try to bait her over here. They're all kind of in the same position, that's the problem. So, yeah, this actually is not ideal positioning. Let me see, because I don't think these guys have... Okay, so yeah, let's check the range on these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, there we go. I was like, it's off by 1. Let's see. So basically, they can all come up to right here. Elvira, I think, kind of like I could come up one more. So probably I can move down. So basically, where Rodion is, I can move down 2 more spaces, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. So I can move down here. Just 1 tile down. Just want to make sure that I'm not in range of anything. I do want to have Theo over here just in case I need to bait her for whatever reason. Stay away, just so that these enemies are not coming all the way down. I don't like that. Mithrius is... Okay, put him over here actually. See what happens. Actually gonna live up for Astrid. Okay, I saw these guys are gonna go after Corvus. He just doubles them. So you can see he's very powerful. That's fine, I actually don't mind him getting rid of these guys for us. That's actually pretty okay. So now we only have to deal with Elvira. She's just not gonna hit this guy. It's really funny. It's a little too fast here. Just want to get rid of all these tenacity stacks. Let's do actually have a boss conversation, I think. Okay, that's not gonna work. Check actually what the stats are for her. She's at high strength, so that's pretty cool. Let me see actually, because I'll just deal with this first. Let's get rid of these stacks. That is also new, and I did not know that. That would also... I thought that's really funny. That counts as a stack. So yeah, this actually is very helpful. So if anyone actually needs some... It's probably gonna get doubled also, yeah. It's fine, honestly. So I can get a little bit of extra EXP. Okay, that's not gonna work. Okay, I think it's because she has the... It's probably, yeah, she's an X-Fighter, that's fine. Okay. Let's just go to Estrada. That is chapter 7. First try also, which is nice. And that's chapter 7. Again, arguably the most challenging of the maps for this demo, but that isn't to say that the next ones are gonna cause some problems. I have had some trouble with chapter 8, but we'll talk about that more next time.